It rained outside right into Hadrian's soul. The boy lay dead on a low couch on whose the knitted hole to Hadrian's eyes that after seeing blood the shattered light of death's eclipse was shed. The boy lay dead, and the day seemed a night outside. The rain fell like a sick affright of nature at her work in killing him through the mind's galleries of their past delight. The very light of memory was dim. O hands that clasped erewhile Hadrian's warm hands, that now found them but cold. O hair bound erstwhile with oppressing bands. O eyes so diffidently bold. O bare female body like a god that dawns into humanity. O lips whose opening redness erst could strike lust seats with a soiled art's variety. O fingers skilled in things not to be named. O tongue which counter-tongued the throbbed brows flamed. O glory of a wrong lust pillowed on rage consciousness spilled suspension. These things are things that now must be no more. The rain is silent, and the emperor sinks by the couch. His grief is like a rage, for the gods take away the life they give, and spoil the beauty that they made live. He weeps and knows that every future age is staring at him out of the to be. His love is on a universal stage. 1,000 unborn eyes weep with his misery. Antinous is dead forever, in the love's lament. Venus herself, that was Adonis's lover, seeing him again, having lived, dead again, lends her great skaty grief now to be blent with Hadrian's pain. Now is Apollo sad because the stealer of his white body is forever cold. In vain shall kisses on the nippled point, covering his heartbeat's silent place implore his life again to ope his eyes and feel her presence along his veins, this fortress hold of love. Now no caressing hands anoint with growing joy that body's lusting lore. The rain falls, and he lies like one who hath forgotten all the gestures of his love, and lies awake, waiting their hot return. But all his vices art now is with death. He lies with her, whose sex cannot him move, whose hand, were it not cold, still ne'er his could burn. Lilies were on his cheeks, and roses too. His eyes were sad in joysome times. He said oft in his close abandonments that woo love to be more love than love can be. Kiss my eyelids till my closed eyes seem to guess the kiss that they feel laid in my heart's breastbed. O Hadrian, what shall now thy cold life be? What boots it to be emperor over all? His absence o'er thy visible empery throws a dim pall. Now are thy nights whittled of love and kisses. Now are the days robbed of the nights awaiting. Now are thy lips purposeless and thy blisses no longer of the size of thy life, mating thy empire with thy love's bold tendernesses. Now are thy doors closed upon beauty and joy, the ashes on thy head. Lo, lift thine eyes and see the lovely boy. Naked he lies upon that memoried bed. By thine own hand he lies uncovered. There was he wont thy dangling sense to cloy, and uncloy with more cloying, and annoy with newer uncloying till thy senses bleed. His hand and mouth nugamoots musical, of vices thy worn spine was hurt to follow. Sometimes it seemed to thee that all was hollow, and sense in each new straining of sucked lust, then still new crimes of fancy he would call to thy shaken flesh, and thou wouldst tremble and fall back on thy cushions, and with thy mind's sense hushed. Beautiful was my love, yet melancholy. He had that art of love's arts most unholy, of being lively sad amongst lust's rages. Now the Nile gave him up, the eternal Nile. Take all the female beauties of the earth, take all afar and rend them if ye will, but by sweet Ganymede that Jove found worth, and above he did elect to fill a cup at his high festivals, and spill his fairer vice wherefrom comes newer birth. The clod of female embraces resolved to dust, O father of the gods, but spare this boy and his white and golden hair. Maybe thy newer Ganymede thou mean'st that he should be, and out of jealous care from Hadrian's arms to thine his beauty steals. He was a kitten playing with lust, playing with his own and with Hadrian's, sometimes one, and sometimes two, now splitting, now one grown, now leaving lust, now lust's high lust delaying, no eyeing lust not wide, but from askance, jumping round on lust's half unexpecteds, then softly gripping, then with fury holding, now playfully playing, now seriously, now lying, by the side of lust looking at it, now spying which way to take lust, and his lust's withholding. Thus did the hours slide from their tangled hands, and from their mixed limbs the moments slip. Now were his arms that leaves, now iron bands. Now were his lips cups, now the things that sip. Now were his eyes to close, and now to open. Now were his ways such as none thought might happen. Now were his arts a feather, and now a whip. That love they lived as a religion, offered to gods to do to present bend. Sometimes he was adorned and made to don, have costumes now opposing nudity that imitates some god's eternity, of body statue known to craving men. Now was he the Venus, risen from the seas, and now was he Apollo, white and golden, and now as Jove sat in his mock judgment over the presence at his feet of his slayed lover. Now was he enacted right by one beholden, and ever repositioned mysteries. Now he is something anyone can be, a white negation of a thing it is, a golden-haired moon-cold loveliness, too cold, and love as cold as he. Love wanders through the memories of his vice, as though a labyrinth, in sad madness glad, and now calls on his name and bids him rise, and now is smiling at his imaged coming. That is, ith-heart-like faces in the gloaming, mere shining shadows of the forms they had. The rain again like a vague pain arose, and put the sense of wetness in the air. Suddenly did the emperor suppose he saw this room and all in it from afar. He saw the couch, the boy, and his own frame cast down against the couch, and he became a clearer presence to himself, and said these words unuttered, save to his soul's tread. I shall build thee a statue that will be to the astonished future evidence of my love and thy beauty, and the sense that beauty giveth of infinity. Death with subtle and covering hands remove the apparel of life and empire from our love, yet its nude statue soul of lust made spirit. All future times, whether they will or not, shall, like a curse seeming God's boon or thought, inevitably inherit. Aye, this thy statue shall I build, and set upon the pinnacle of being thine. Let time by its subtle dim crime eat it from life, or with men's violence fret, to pieces out of unity and presence. Aye, let that be. Our love shall stand so great, and thy statue of us like a god's fate. Our love's incarnate and discarnate essence, that like a trumpet reaching overseas, and going from continent to continent, our love shall speak its joy and woe, death blent, over infinities and eternities. The memory of our love shall bridge the ages, it shall loom white out of the past and be eternal like a Grecian victory. In every heart the future shall give rages of not being our love's contemporary. Yet, oh, that this were needed not, and thou wert the red flower perfuming my life, the garland on the brows of my delight, the living flame on altars of my soul. Would all this were a thing thou mightest now smile at from under thy death-mocking lids, and wonder that I should so put a strife twixt me and the gods for thy lost presence bright, were there not in this but my empty dome, and thy awakening smile half to kindle, what with my dreaming pain to hope forbids. Thus when he, like a lover who was waiting from place to place in his dim doubting mind, now was his hope a great bulk of will fading, its wish to being. Now he felt he was blind, in some point of his scene with undefined. When love meets death, we know not what to feel. When death foils love, we know not what to know. Now did his doubt hope, now did his hope doubt. Now what his wish dreamed, the dream's sense did flout, and to his sullen emptiness congeal. Then again the gods fanned love's darkening glow. Thy death has given me a newer lust, a flesh lust raging for eternity. On my imperial will I put my trust, that the high gods that made me emperor be will not annul from a more real life. I wish that thou shouldst live for air and stand, a freshly presence on their better land, more beautiful, and as beautiful, for there no things impossible our wishes mar, nor pain our hearts with change and time and strife. Love, love, my love, thou art already a god. This thought of mine, which I as a wish believe, is no wish, but a sight to me aloud, that the great gods that love, and can give to mortal hearts under the shape of wishes strong, having imperial reaches, a vision of the real things beyond our life and present life, our sense hound sense. I would idle thee to be thou art now, already on limit ground. Thou walkest and art perfect, yet art thou, for thou needst no excess of thee to dawn, to perfect being perfection. My heart is singing like a morning bird. A great hope from the gods comes down to me, and bids my heart to subtler sense be stirred. And think not that strange evil of thee, that to think thee mortal would be. My love, my God love, let me kiss on thy cold lips, thy hot lips now immortal, greeting thee at death's portal's happiness. For to the gods, death's portal is life's portal. Thus is the memory of thee a god, already a statue of thee, of that part of me like a great sea, girds in me like a great red empire more broad than all the lands and peoples that are in my power's reach. Thus art thou myself made in that great stretch Olympic that portrays the true whole gods present in river and glade, and hours eternal in its different days. So strong my love is that it is thyself, thy body as it were air, death it was it, towering above the silence infinite that girds round life in its unduring pelf. Even as thou wert in life like corporal shade is in the presence of the gods, my love permits not that its carnal being fade, or one with false to fleshly presence prove. Creeds may arise and pass, and passions change. Other ways may be born out of time's dream. But this, our love, made by thy body, will range on deathless meads from happy stream to stream. Were there no Olympus for thee, my love, would make thee one, where thou sole God mightst prove, and I sole adorer, glad to be thy sole adorer through infinity. Thou were a divine universe enough, for love in me and what to me thou art, to have thee as a thing made of God stuff, and to look on these eternity best part. O love, my love, awake with my strong will of loving to Olympus, and be there the latest god, whose honey-colored hair takes divine eyes, as thou wert on earth, still in heaven bodily be in Rome, a prisoner of that happiness of home. With elder gods, while I on earth do make a statue for thy deathlessness' sake. That deathless statue of thee I should build will be no stone thing, but my great regret, by which our love's eternity is willed, my sorrow shall make thee its god, and set thy naked presence on the parapet that looks over the seas of future times. Some shall say all our love was vice and crimes, others against our names as stones shall whet the knife of their glad hate of beauty, and make our name a pillory, a scaffold, and a stake, whereupon to burn our brothers yet unborn. Yet shall our presence like eternal morn ever return at beauty's hour, and shine out of the east of love, and be the shrine of future gods that nothing human scorn. My love for thee is part of what thou wert, and shall be a part of what thy statue will be. Our double presence unified in thee shall make to beat many a future heart. Aye, were it a statue to be broken and missed, yet its stone perfect memory would still be more perfect, on time's shoulders borne, overlook the great morn from an eternal east. Thy statue is of thyself and of me. Our dual presence has its unity, in that perfection of body which my love, in loving it, did out of mortal life, raise into godness, set above the strife of times and changing passions far above. The end of days, when Jove is born again, and Ganymede again pour out his feast, shall see our dual soul from death released, and recreated unto love, joy, pain, life, all the beauty and the vice and lust, all the diviner side of flesh staged, and if our very memory wore to dust, by the giant race of the end of ages must our dual presence once again be raised. It rained still, but slow turning night came in, closing the weary eyelids of each sense. The very consciousness of self and soul grew like a landscape through dim raining dim. The emperor lay still, so still that now he half forgot where now he lay, or whence the sorrow that was still salt on his lips. All had been something very far. A squirrel rolled up. The things he felt were like the rim that halos around the moon when the night weeps. It was bowed into his arms, and they on the low couch foreign to his sense lay. His closed eyes seemed open to him, and seeing the naked floor, dark, cold, sad, and unmeaning. His hurting breath was all his sense could know. Out of the falling darkness the wind rose and fell. A voice swooned in the courts below, and the emperor slept. The gods came now and bore something away, no sense knows how, on unseen arms of power and repose. Lisbon, 1915.